By the age of 13, he had been arrested 38 times. By 20, he was the youngest heavyweight champion in history. By 26, Mike Tyson sat alone in a 6-by-8-foot cell. December 1992, Indiana State Prison. He wasn't Iron Mike anymore. He was inmate 922335. And for the first time in his life, he stopped fighting. Brownsville, Brooklyn, 1966. One of the most dangerous neighborhoods in America. Violence wasn't a possibility. It was part of everyday life. Mike Tyson's father left before he turned 2. His mother, Lorna, worked multiple jobs just to keep the lights on. Some days, even that wasn't enough. Mike was small for his age. He had a high-pitched voice, a lisp that made other kids laugh. Beatings came almost every day. Older boys took his lunch money. He'd run home crying, and his mother would say the same thing every time. Hit them back. And then one day, he did. Something changed. By 10, he was running with older kids. By 11, he was breaking into houses. By 12, he was carrying a gun. By 13, Mike Tyson had been arrested 38 times. Nobody seemed to know what to do with him. Then one judge made a decision. He sent the 13-year-old boy to Tryon School for Boys, a juvenile detention center in upstate New York. Tryon wasn't a school. It was where troubled boys ended up, angry kids with nowhere else to go. One of the counselors there was a former boxer named Bobby Stewart. Stewart gave him a choice. Learn to box and stay out of trouble. Otherwise, I can't help you. Mike said yes. As Mike improved, Stewart realized he needed someone better than himself. So he made one phone call. Cus D'Amato. Cus was one of the greatest boxing trainers in America. He had already trained a heavyweight champion. Cus watched him shadowbox for a few minutes. Then he turned to Stewart and said 4 words. This is the one. Cus didn't just see a future champion. He saw a boy who needed a father. So, he became one. He took the 13-year-old into his home in Catskill, New York. The training was relentless. 5 a.m. every day, no excuses. Cus taught him more than boxing. He made him study old fights for hours, stopping the tape to ask, "What do you see? What's he thinking?" The hero and the coward both feel the same fear, Cus would say. The difference is what they do with it. At 14, he won his first amateur fight by knockout. Then another. Then another. On November 4th, 1985, Cus D'Amato died of pneumonia. Mike was devastated. Less than a year later, November 22nd, 1986, Las Vegas, Mike Tyson stepped into the ring against Trevor Berbick. 2 rounds later, it was over. At just 20 years old, Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history, exactly as Cus had predicted. The money came fast, millions, mansions. Everyone wanted a piece of Mike Tyson. The people Cus had trusted were gone. In their place came people who told him exactly what he wanted to hear. As Tyson's fame grew, a boxing promoter named Don King stepped into his life. He promised to make Tyson even bigger. Instead, he took control of Tyson's career, his money, and the people around him. Outside the ring, his marriage to Robin Givens fell apart. He suffered the biggest upset in boxing history when Buster Douglas knocked him out. By 1992 came the accusation, the verdict. 6 years, Indiana State Prison. Mike Tyson was no longer the heavyweight champion of the world. He was inmate 922335. His cell was 6 feet by 8 feet, a concrete floor, a steel toilet, a narrow bed, 23 hours a day, alone. Every day followed the same routine, the same cell, the same walls, the same silence. And for the first time in his life, Mike Tyson couldn't run from himself. He began to read Malcolm X, Machiavelli, history, books he had never taken the time to open before. He studied Islam and started questioning the man he had become. The anger was still there, but there was no one left to blame, only himself. Years later, Tyson would say, "Prison was the best thing that ever happened to me." March 25, 1995. The prison gates opened. Mike Tyson walked out a free man. He had lost millions. He had lost his reputation. But he walked out with something he had never truly had before: himself. 4 months later, he was back in the ring. By 1996, he had won back the heavyweight championship. The old Mike Tyson fought with anger. This one fought with control. Today, Mike Tyson speaks openly about his mistakes, his regrets, and the lessons he learned. The boy from Brownsville who grew up believing violence solved every problem eventually discovered that the hardest battles are never fought inside a boxing ring. They're fought within. Maybe that's the lesson in Mike Tyson's story. You can't change your past, but the moment you stop running from yourself is the moment your life can finally begin to change.
If Mike Tyson's story inspired you, let me know in the comments. What was the biggest lesson you took away from his journey? And if you're not already following the Imaginarium, you will probably never see us again. And if you do, I will see you in the next story.